Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Gurok here, your casual gaming dad coming at you guys. Not with a Halloween themed video in the month of October. Nope, we're giving you some long awaited Final Fantasy XIV content. That's right, patch 6.5 has been released. It actually got released while I was away on vacation, and I've finally somewhat caught up, at least as far as all of the things introduced in 6.5 that interest me and that I usually cover anyway in these videos. Um, and I feel it's time for me to post this video and just give my thoughts and opinions and review. Now, as many of you as you know, patch 6.4 left a real sour taste in my mouth, primarily due to the direction that was taken with the MSQ, how they decided to kind of, I don't want to say end the arc, because the arc wasn't technically over, but basically just stick around with the usual trope of, oh, good guy versus bad guy fights bad guy, good guy beats bad guy, oh, lol, raffle sauce, there's an even bigger bad guy, and no one wins anything. So, oh well, better luck next time, try again in the next patch. I hate that kind of storytelling. I really do. And I'm not taking a dig at Yoshi P or his writing team. It's just, I hate it. It's old. It's overused, overdone, and it's never implemented well. It's never a good feel when it is used, when that whole thing is used. It's almost as bad as the whole, like, oh, the good guys are about to triumph, but oh no, the bad guys are 10 steps ahead of you every step of the way. Like, that's even worse. Okay, and I'm not a professional writer, I understand that. I'm not some like world-renowned author, but I have written my fair share of short stories and mini novels. In addition to that, I also have authored many Dungeons and Dragons campaign where I had to execute skills that most writers have to execute in a setting such as this, in regards to characters, world building, environments, enemies, overall theme, stuff like that. So I know it's not an easy job, I know it's not an easy task, but there are certain things you got to avoid, and unfortunately the 6.4 was everything I dislike. And here we are, fast forward in the future, we're at 6.5, and have things gotten better? Well, no, not really. I'm going to be honest with you, this, so far, ever since 6.1 is hit, Endwalker just has not been my favorite expansion. Is it as bad as Stormblood, in my opinion? No. And I'm talking story-wise, I'm not talking about gameplay, I'm not talking about class design, I'm talking about just story questing. Not my favorite. I would say, as it is right now, Endwalker is like my second to least favorite expansion so far, story-wise. But only 6.1 and beyond, because 6.0 on the release was amazing. It was chef's kiss. And it does need to be said that I did finally go back and actually pay attention to the Alliance Raid storyline, the Myths of the Realm, and by the gods, that was amazing. So there is good storytelling in Endwalker. It just, the main story has been lacking since 6.1, and I think that's just because I went into it myself with a certain expectation. They kind of promised us that we were, shedding our mantle as warrior of light and savior and scion of the seventh dawn, and that we were going to just be an adventurer again. We were going to go plunder some tomes or explore some ruins and stuff, and that lasted all of like 45 minutes, and then as soon as you cleared the first dungeon, it was right back to, well, you're the warrior of light, you're going to save our world by saving this person's world and all this stuff. So that being said, 6.5 story kind of just finishes that whole scenario up. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I will say that ultimately the good guys win the day. Hooray. Congratulations. If you were ever a fan of My Little Pony in the early to mid 2000s, you'll be very familiar with the whole friendship is magic thing. So, but I'll just put those little tidbits there. Friendship is magic. It's all about the power of togetherness. Yay. You can just hear the enthusiasm in my voice. It just was not my cup of tea. Overall, I would rate the MSQ for 6.5. I would rate it a 6 out of 10. It was more tolerable than 6.4, but just wasn't really. I'm happy it's over. I will say I'm intrigued because I believe we're still going to get one more major patch, a 6.6, because it seemed like they finished off 6.5, getting ready to introduce, the whatever it is, the events that are going to bring us to the next expansion, Dawn Trail. And I'm very intrigued to see how they finish it off because, small spoiler alert, very small spoiler alert, but they did not give us the like 2 hours of cutscenes at the end of 6.5. So that's what's telling me like there's probably a little more coming at us. Um, so yeah, quest MSQ wise, 6 out of 10. Not my cup of tea, but it was better than 6.4. So I gotta give it that. I'm just glad it's over. Mists of the Realm, 10 out of 10. That story, after going back and actually paying attention to it, was phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. And very much enjoyed it. And I wish I could replay it. I suppose I could with New Game Plus, but other things that I get introduced, other major things that I experienced and want to add to this review. Obviously, with just about every single major patch, there is the same stuff introduced. So we got a new dungeon, which the new dungeon's okay. It's pretty good. The design was pretty good design. It wasn't my favorite out of all of them, but it wasn't bad either. The boss fights, again, it is very similar to the last two dungeons that they released, where the bosses were a mixture of the same old, but still some new twist mechanics that were like, oh snap, that was pretty interesting. Okay, I will say the final boss of the new dungeon was actually like, oh shit, it's one of those moments of like, if you don't pay attention, you could easily just like get yourself murked. So it's good to keep you on your toes, right? I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And of course, as always, there was also a new trial introduced, which also comes with an extreme version. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I'm a very casual player. I don't do extremes. But I will say that the normal version of the trial was very nice. It was again following a common trend in Endwalker that I have enjoyed, where the trial fights are a mixture of being just challenging enough, even in normal mode, that it provides a slight feel of difficulty, while also at the same time being easy enough that like you can pug it in group find, in duty finder, and not have to worry about like, oh, I'm gonna sit here for like 2 hours wiping. So definitely very good, definitely enjoyable, and I can imagine that translates to the extreme version as being really awesome. So I'm sure that is going well. Some other things of note that got added. Obviously, the new and final round of our Alliance raid, the Mists of the Realm. We take on the final few physical avatars of the 12 that are remaining. And every single one of them is gorgeous. The environments are phenomenal, the music is amazing, and the fights themselves are fun and very intriguing and interesting. A lot of new mechanics and a lot of like new spins on old mechanics that were just very enjoyable. I never like every single step of the way with the Mists of the Realm, the Alliance raid in Endwalker. I have not been like, ugh, I really don't want to run this week. Like, I've never felt that way. I've always wanted to run all of it. So definitely A plus on that one. Definitely 10 out of 10 for the Alliance raid. That pretty much covers the majority of the PvE stuff. There are some things here and there, like I said, a new extreme trial. There were additions to, what are they called? Hold on, let me look here. Criterion Dungeon, I believe, or I think that might be down the road, but I know they're planning on new things to Criterion Dungeons. Not really my cup of tea. Did the first Criterion Dungeon, it was kind of eh. It was okay, not my favorite thing, but I'm sure for those who enjoy that kind of content, it's something they're looking forward to. I know they've added stuff to Island Sanctuary. I have not been to my Island Sanctuary since like 6.2, so bad island manager on me. I should probably go check on that, but there's tons new stuff, new levels, new mounts, new creatures to capture, new things to harvest, new areas to explore. Definitely a good time. Definitely a lot of stuff to really get into. I personally myself have not gotten into it, so I can't really give it a rating. But it seems, from what I've read in the patch notes, all of the changes they made have been very positive. They're very quality of life and or just additions to already cool stuff. Combat wise, I know that Paladin got itself a little bit of a buff. I'm not gonna go too in depth on it. I know just like most of Paladin's main things, especially the sword combo, like Blade of Faith, Blade of Truth, and stuff, they all got potency increases. I think Bard and Red Mage also got some potency increases. Nothing too major, but just enough to keep them more in line. Again, I'm not gonna go too in depth on it because I don't really want to take up all the time talking about class changes. Outside of that, that pretty much covers all of the PvE stuff. Now, as far as PvP goes, they have introduced the new, let me turn my UI back on, new PvP series. You can see I'm only like level 3. I haven't really grinded out too much, but we get ourselves a new glamour, which of course I can't preview here, as well as a minion, so pretty cool. And then of course some like emotes and framer kits, which are kind of like, yeah, whatever. As well as you can see all my character. If I have my UI again, minus the gauntlets here, actually. Let me update that, actually. Get out of here. Where is it? You guys get to see all my silly glams here. Where? Oh, that was the last one. Cool looking set. And then of course you have the first one. Where is it? Did I not save it? Oh, no, here it is. Bam. There we go. So this is new PvP gear that is available. Now there are multiple variations, multiple different sets. I think these all look really cool, and they're not bound by job. So you can literally buy every single piece and mix and match as you want. Like, this is a mixture of like different various sets. Like the top and the pants I think go together, but the helmet and the boots go separately. It's pretty cool. So definitely really cool. If you want to see a screenshot of the new series reward, it's right here. Looks pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to really actually see it in game though, so hopefully once I do earn it, that will be even cooler looking, because usually the armors look really better, you know, a lot better in game. Outside of that, really not much has changed. Just some UI changes and quality of life stuff in regards to being able to identify like where your team stands in crystalline conflict and stuff like that. Not much. I mean, given all the content that is in this patch, there's really not much for me to cover given like my current playstyle. So overall, what I would say as far as 14 goes right now, I think it's doing okay. Overall, I gotta give it 6.5. I mean, the MSQ being a 6 out of 10 really kind of like dumbs it, you know, really kind of knocks it down. But I'd say we're doing all right. We're doing a 7.5, 7.5 out of 10 for 6.5. It's definitely worth sticking around if you've been playing straight through. If you're thinking about coming back, you know, this is also a pretty good time to do so. I wouldn't say that I'm back to the game. I'm still on a soft hiatus. I do plan on logging in and just farming that series milestones. Once I do that though, it's kind of iffy if I'll end up changing out my gear, because I mean, we're not going to get a new gear set to upgrade to until next expansion. So at this point, I mean, I've got all the time in the world to fully upgrade. So those are my thoughts on 6.5. Nothing too extravagant. as always, I will leave a link in the description down below so you guys can read the full patch notes. If you all have taken the time to experience the new Extreme trial or the new Ultimate, feel free to leave your comments in the section down below. Just let me know how those are going for you, and if they're enjoyable, if you would give them a thumbs up, thumbs down, that sort of thing. And yeah, usual stuff. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more content from my channel, hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you all in the next video. See ya.